Pathfinder must think she's pretty tough to just stroll in here.
Wonder how long she'd last in a real fight.
They're testing you, seeing if you'll take the bait.
Saw the worm out there again. That thing is huge.
Bigger than a threshing maw, isn't it? Make a good rite of passage. Soft, squishy human like you should probably steer clear in the wild life out there.
You said something about a worm.
Not a worm. The worm. Huge. Invincible. You can't miss it. It pops out of the dunes from time to time. Plows down everything in its path.
Do I have to worry about it attacking?
As far as we can tell, it doesn't care about us, one way or the other. But stay out of its way. It'll barrel right through you, tear you to pieces.
Thanks for the heads up.
It was an accident. The terminal with Dr. Okeer's data was right next to the scrubbed ones. Don't worry, Dr. Gunnar. I'll track it down.
Hello. I noticed you were listening. Is it because you're a fan of the Krogan genius, Dr. Okeer? I'm frantic because a terminal with all his research was accidentally sold to a junker.
No? Maybe? What was on it?
His work regarding Krogan physiology and the genophage was advanced. I was his protege. Or, I was acquainted with his protege.
Anyway, it's encrypted, but it would be bad if it fell into the wrong hands. I can give you a nav point and the name of the scavenger I accidentally sold it to.
You talk about Dr. Okeer like I should know who that is.
Dr. Okeer was on the leading edge of Krogan genetics, and possibly curing the genophage.
And not using the slow genetic mutation approach the Initiative has invested in.
I had a collection of his research. I hope to cure the genophage in the colony.
Send me the nav point and the terminal identification.
Done. I hope it's still on the planet. The junker was aggressive.
Dr. Okeer's important work can't be lost.
Should have known more would take over.
She'll run this place into the ground.
Bad timing.
Stupid Adi can't even dodge.
weather's so different now.
Is weather the only thing you can talk about? Well, look at that. Not one of those damn scavengers, are you?
I'm with the Andromeda Initiative.
That's worse. Look, you want to buy, talk to my seller. I hired him so I don't have to deal with the customers.
Bet the scavengers are crawling all over the salvage you pick up.
Not too bad. I pick my scrap out in Ataraxia, where squishies like you can't handle the heat. I don't get too close to the Flophouse. Scavengers gather there like insects. Can't defend my salvage against those numbers. Look at me. I was a warrior, and now I fight vermin over a junk heap.
The Nexus is paradise compared to this. You don't want to go back? Even a little?
So we can be your attack dogs again? Get treated like dirt until we finally fight back? This is no different than the rebellion back home. Only time we get respect is when we take it by force. We were stupid to think it would be any different here.
You talk like you saw the rebellions. You can't be as old as Drac.
What's that supposed to mean?
I was born during the final year, just before the Turians hit us with the genophage. My father died in the fight on Canrum. Took 24 Turian guns to drop him. I'm glad he didn't live to see us riding in cargo on the Nexus like pets.
I should get moving.
I'll be here, selling junk.
Pathfinder, welcome.
You don't welcome an alien into our colony, you ignorant child.
Shut up, old man. Sorry about that. Don't mind him. Credits are credits, I say.
Your business won't get far if you only sell to Krogan.
He's more concerned with proving a point than growing his clientele. Good thing he has me. Now buy something before he starts yelling again.
Brand new top of the line salvage right here.
Pathfinder, when you travel, do you meet many Angara?
Sometimes.
Have you met one named Ljeta?
I don't think so. Why?
She was a salvager, made runs to Elaaden all the time. When she landed, she would always stop here first. We climbed the dunes together, took in the view, talked for hours. Ljeta had a hard time in this heat, so I said I'd make her a cryo bracelet.
I bet she appreciated that.
I never got the chance to give it to her. One day she just stopped coming. I don't know where she is, if I'll ever see her again.
Tell me more about Ljeta.
She's adventurous, optimistic. Her jokes could make a Krogan blush. In a place like this, she stood out. I think she'd stand out anywhere.
You think something happened to her?
She could have taken a new job. Maybe she was sick of Elaaden. But if there's even a chance she ran into trouble, I can't stand not knowing.
I could track her down for you. Make sure she's okay.
There's a salvage runner at the Paradise. She might know something.
I would like that. If you find her, will you give her the cryo bracelet? Tell her she can use it to visit me again. Thank you, Pathfinder.
Sounds like Helios was an easy choice for you.
New galaxy, new life. Not interested in being a merc like my father, or battling it out on Tachanka. I almost didn't want to be packed into cryo for the journey. Wanted to see the whole thing.
Would have been pretty lonely.
Never been bothered by loneliness. The views would have been worth it.
What are you doing up here?
Looking. Back home we didn't have time to just stop and look.
Is life that different here?
It was all about survival. Here we don't have to fight so hard. Of course, the older ones still think they have to fight. Maybe it's just in their blood.
They'll come around.
You seem different from the other Krogan.
My father called me a Solarian in a Krogan body. Supposed to be an insult. Joke's on him, though. I like Solarians.
I should get going.
Saw the worm bust straight through an old ship? Not a scratch on it.
Some think it's invincible. Doubt it. Not to a Krogan. If you head out worm hunting, let me know. I'll plan your funeral.
You're about the Nexus one. So the squishies finally realize they're screwed out here. Well, it's gonna take a lot more than "oops, my bad" to scratch out what they did. I'm killed for some thousand source, and our food is so bland. Feel like we can finally relax. Take in the sun.
Been out of the Sea of Ataraxia? Pretty wild out there. They'll kill you for a tire if it's the right size.
Just scavs being scavs. We ought to check it out, actually. See if we can get in on the action.
I'd rather stay here, thanks.
You call yourself Krogan?
Went out hunting. If you head out worm hunting, let me know. I'll plan your funeral.
I saw a cloud. A real cloud.
You let him ship off to Kadara? What were you thinking?
It was his choice.
No, his life isn't the only one affected.
Now, here's someone who's actually been to Kadara. You can ask her. If Arcal wants to be a heavy for some Kadara slimeball, he can. I wasn't gonna stop him.
He'll be treated like an expendable attack dog, and he'll die. And his death will be on your hands.
Or he's using them to make a bunch of credits so we can live easier.
Do you want me to find this Arcall for you?
No, I'll track him down myself.
It's best if you don't get involved. But thank you.
Just let it go, Ryder. This is a Krogan matter. They'll figure it out.
But she asked me. You asked me. Sheesh.
I'm leaving. No way this colony will make it.
Come on, you have nowhere to go.
Heard Sloan on Kadara is hiring.
I'd love to take down the worm.
Don't be stupid. It's invincible.
Did that ever stop me before?
So you're the human Pathfinder. You look different from the pictures I saw.
You probably saw pictures of my dad.
Your dad? You replaced him as Pathfinder?
It's a long story.
Haven't really kept up with Nexus news. Enough trouble to occupy me here.
Scavengers?
Amongst other things. You seen the Flophouse yet? That's where they get together. 80% shacks, 100% trouble. I'll give you the nav point so you can avoid it. Or not, as you choose.
Tell me more about the Flophouse.
It's a loose collection of shelters where some scavenger gangs gather. They knock each other around, drink, and then when they're all riled up, run raids. And if you get close when they're hungry, well, that's how I lost a liver and gained a limp.
Have you had much trouble with the scavengers at the colony?
Not yet. They're not that stupid. A bunch of squishies against 100-odd Krogan? Give it a little time. Resources run low, they'll get desperate, and who knows?
Thanks. This information will come in handy.
Just trying to help. Be careful out there, Pathfinder.